Hey guys, hope y'all doing well. I wanted to say a few things quickly and randomly, beautifully, but randomly, about why we are unhappy. How often do you stretch? How often do you take some moments to have a deep breath? I have no idea how this looks. How often do you take time to maybe address where you're at or how fast or slow you're going? Make adjustments. Adjustments without judgment. Quote that shit. How often do you honestly, truly, I don't even want to say the statement, take the time, it's overused, a lot of overused, take the time to fucking thank yourself for all that you're doing and trying to do, even if you're not living up to your or your other people's expectations. See that breath? That means things are moving, things are changing. I'm actually getting something out. It's my own personal shit. But everyone, if you notice, the breath is so incredibly important. Not just in doing it, but what it does naturally. When our hearts start racing, it gets shorter, higher, you get anxiety, you start to talk tight, you have less breath, high pitch, scared. So, my whole point of making this quick, random, stoned morning video while I'm sitting on my girlfriend's bed, which is very comfortable. Um, we don't realize how sick we are or how shitty we feel. So it's like when we're like 5 years old, right? We wake up, or our 5 year old selves, we want to run and play and think and do stuff and draw and go through this and think about that and ask a bunch of questions and bug the shit out of people because you just want to do stuff. You're excited to live and you want to explore and understand things. And you feel good. Usually. Most 5 year olds feel great. When you're that young, you don't really need to do much of breathing or stretching exercises or things like that, or necessarily watch all that stuff nearly as much because you're already good. But when we get older, man, shit stiffens up, tightens up. Now, we take care of ourselves so infrequently, so not frequently. It's so few and far between that we actually, like, like self care. The mind, I'll tell you a secret. The mind only wants to agree with itself. That's it. It's very simple, basic. It wants to create things, to create another thing to connect to that agrees with itself. Or if it changes, it needs to change with it. It's like it needs to not choose, but have its own philosophy that it can lean on. Something to agree upon from what's going on in here and what's going on all out here. Something to agree upon. The mind just wants to shake hands with itself. Very strange. The heart just wants to connect everything, but this video is not about the heart. So, we live so terribly, a lot of us, many of us, most of us. We live so terribly, mentally. What is this? All of this. What is it without thought? And what is thought without language and also images? And then you get memories and emotions and different fueling systems and all this stuff. But what is all of this without thought? And how do we think of things? Once we learn letters and words and sentences, then we start to think in sentences. So if we wanted to, most of us, I believe, could train us. You ever hear someone mumble to themselves? They're by themselves and they're like, okay, I gotta do this, and then, should I do that? Maybe what was the fucking, okay, alright, that's what I do, boom, and then they like, whatever, go do their own thing, and they're not talking to themselves anymore. What is that? Why do we do that? Why can't we just think of the solution right away? Why can't we just be extremely efficient in what we do? What is it that attaches us to? It's beyond free will. It's like you have to make choices, decisions. Not necessarily choose sides, but stand where you stand. So someone could say you're not standing here, you're standing there, but that's that separation bullshit. That's that oppositional dualistic mentality that sucks. That's what the mind wants. It wants to split. Choose. No, go here. Not that. This. I wish we could all paint the world that we live in mentally. And maybe a lot of people have different environments or scenarios. I'd say that's normal. Different times call for different measures. When someone's happy and when someone's upset, they could be in completely different modes of expression, while other people are generally the same. And people are just different. Some are more complex and dynamic, and others are just generally more reliable, dependable, I guess, and predictable. You need predictability, routine. You need it. You need it all. We need all of these different perspectives in life. All of them. All of them. Otherwise, it wouldn't be this whole shit. And some may be hurtful or bad, and others may be helpful and good. But that's that over here, over there shit. What I'm talking about in this video is understanding where you are when you think you feel decent or pretty good or good enough or this is what it is. This is where I'm at. This is all I can do. This is as far as I can go. This is my threshold. I can't do any more. Something along those lines. What I'm talking about is gradual. Not necessarily identifying where you are this very second directly, but saying, okay, well, I feel the way I feel. I don't know exactly how aware of it I am, but I am here and I feel this. I feel decent. I feel okay. I felt better. I don't feel like a child free fucking running through a field doing what I want, having fun and making lightheartedness and just beauty and just wonder and imagination out of everything. No, I don't feel like that. A lot of people would say that children should only feel like that. But then a lot of adults who are very happy and also successful without being assholes or bullshit artists and are still true to themselves and their families and things like that, and they're not scheming anything or anything like that, they smile a lot. There are people who are successful who smile and are truly happy and who don't have to absolutely fucking give every single last ounce that they have just to like survive and shit like that. This is a world that we live in. This is a world that we live in, right? We live in a survivalist mentality, a lot of us, and that's why we fucking struggle. It's not because of the systems that are put in place necessarily. It's because we put ourselves in the place that is not helpful. And we need to gradually not just realize where we're at, but move up and do a little more and do a little more and a little more and a little more and start to understand better and then realize newer concepts and deeper meanings of things and find more beauty in things and not stare at the same wall and think the same thing every day, not look in the mirror and see the same thing, look at the same part of your body or face or whatever it is, or look at the whole and say I don't like this, I reject this, my blah blah blah, my dad said this to me, my brother, my girlfriend, blah, this stuff happened when I was younger and all this different shit, and it's like it comes to a point where it doesn't matter what happened, you choose where you're at. But what we don't realize is that we have choice mentally to ourselves, for ourselves, for all of us. We have a choice. We have a choice to think and live and feel and attract, express, imagine everything differently. And if we do that, things change. Have you ever done something wildly different in the morning? Something you've wanted to do for a long time? Or just something just like, whoa, man, that was different. I guarantee you, man, your day goes different. It's just when you change your mind, it just reacts to you. So in conclusion, I believe that we are all so much more stuck than we realize. So much more hurting, and not just hurting, but deprived. We are neglecting ourselves, our bodies, our breath, our thoughts. It's not that it's not normal, it's not natural, and it's not helpful. We need to help ourselves more, but in order to do that, we need to realize that we're in a shitty place and come to terms to an extent that this kind of sucks. Maybe talk about it. There is no fucking solution after someone says, dude, life fucking sucks sometimes. There is no solution necessarily right away. You have to accept that. But then once you do, you actually feel how you really feel about it. You get to the depth of what it is because you're not neglecting or rejecting it or denying it or pushing it to the side or saying, yeah, well, that's just the way it is. Someday it'll change, or whatever it is. I think a lot of people are falsely portraying their lives as pretty happy, or we'll just say good enough. And it's just not true because we're neglecting things and we're pushing away feelings and thoughts and certain other things that come in. We're pushing them away to stay comfortable. To stay straight, to stay on the line. To continue the whole thing. The misery. Hey, I'm scared of change too. We can't keep living like this though. Everyone's miserable. People are dying, overdosing, diseases, cancer. People die anyway. We need to get stronger. Or else we're gonna die too. And that ain't the future. Peace.